Gentleman from Massachusetts, Mr. McGovern, is recognized for 30 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank the gentlewoman from North Carolina for yielding me the customary 30 minutes, and I yield myself such time as I may consume.
Gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, this is a lousy budget. It is a budget that will hurt working families. It is a budget that will especially hurt families who are struggling in poverty. Republicans have succeeded in putting together a Marie Antoinette budget, helping the richest of the rich while hurting the poorest of the poor. Let them eat cake. That is the Republican motto. And I've never seen such cruelty contained in a budget in all my years here. This budget would force the biggest cut to Medicaid in American history. And the idea and the audacity of somehow pretending like it isn't going to hurt people is just insane. It is simply not possible mathematically to cut Medicaid by almost $1 trillion and not hurt people. And by the way, for the record, that's not fear-mongering. It's what's in the text of this bill. You know, I just want to say that this budget directs the Committee on Energy and Commerce to come up with at least $880 billion in cuts within their jurisdiction. Now, Republicans want to be able to claim that there's no way to know at this point in the process where those cuts will come from. And they're saying that they're not going to cut any benefits in Medicaid or Medicare. But guess what, Mr. Speaker? If you don't cut Medicaid, if you don't cut Medicare or CHIP, there is only $381 billion left to cut in ENC's jurisdiction. So even if you cut literally every single other dollar, you're still at least $500 billion short, $500 billion short. You know, I guess I understand why President Trump suggests that you all close your eyes before voting on this steaming pile of Medicaid cuts. And I would also say it's not mathematically possible to tell the Agriculture Committee to cut $230 billion without cutting SNAP benefits. You just can't do it. You have to kick people off of food assistance if this budget passes. That means children, seniors, and Americans with disabilities cut off. That, in my opinion, that is the reality. That is the reality that Republicans are trying to hide from the American people. We had a hearing in the Agriculture Committee yesterday where Republicans were bragging about, how they wanted to make SNAP, put more hurdles in place for people to be eligible for SNAP. The majority of people on SNAP are children, are senior citizens, are people who are disabled. We don't expect them to work unless you want to repeal the child labor laws, unless you want to send grandma back to the factory. But that's the overwhelming majority of people who are on the program. Of those who are able-bodied and expected to work, the majority of them work. The majority of them work. And that's the program Republicans want to target? Give me a break. I mean, I go right through the list, and we could debate waste, fraud, and abuse all day. The money that DOGE has supposedly found in waste, even if you believe that number, is totally offset by the tax breaks for billionaires in this bill. I mean, with all the chaos in our economy right now, does anybody really believe that we have to help out billionaires? That they're the ones who are hurting? Not average working families, but billionaires. I mean, we have billionaires in this country who pay an effective tax rate that is lower than the effective tax rate for teachers and police officers and firefighters. What the hell is wrong with this place? I mean, the priorities here are all screwed up. So let's have a debate about our values and our choices. But please, 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 let's not pretend like this budget isn't going to hurt people. Let's at least have an intellectually honest conversation and admit what this is about. Just like the devastating DOGE cuts to NIH and CDC, they're going to hurt people. Just like Trump's tariffs are hurting people. And by the way, on tariffs, if I may, Republicans are once again rigging the rules to protect Donald Trump and hide from accountability. They know his tariffs are economic poison. They know voters hate them. But House Republicans are too cowardly to go on record. So they're trying to sneak around with a procedural gimmick in this rule to block a vote on the tariffs instead of facing the truth. So let's be clear. A vote for today's rule is a vote for Trump's disastrous trade war, period. There's no hiding from it. Now, I know that Trump just announced on social media, of all ways, that he is partially backing down and putting a temporary pause on some of the tariffs he announced last week. Mr. Speaker, I don't know whether it is idiocy or incompetence, maybe both, but you're telling me that Trump tanked the market nearly 20% and put the entire American economy on the line so that countries would give him a phone call? I mean, is that what this is all about? Give me a damn break. Right-wing pundits are going to act like pausing the tariffs was some kind of stroke of genius, that recouping only 1/3 of our market losses is somehow a brilliant move. Now, I wasn't very good in arithmetic, but that doesn't sound like a brilliant move to me. That sounds like a stupid move. And first, let me remind my colleagues across the aisle that this is just a pause. Second, 10% tariffs across the board are still in place, plus the increased China tariffs. And third, all of this chaos is horrible for the economy. Small businesses cannot plan or operate under this level of uncertainty. What big business would want to invest in any new manufacturing if there's no telling what policy is in place tomorrow? And how can our trading partners believe that what we say when we're changing policy every 3 days? The swinging back and forth is making Americans worse off for no apparent reason. And maybe Republicans think that some people need to be heard in order to fix our country. I love it when Trump puts out all these billionaires to tell working families, oh, you got to just deal with the pain. Oh, it's no big deal. You should sacrifice. Billionaires lecturing hardworking middle-class Americans. But at least if they admitted what the impact of these tariffs really were on average working families, we could have an intellectually honest conversation about what this budget and Trump's tariffs do. But we can't, because that would force the other side to acknowledge the truth. And the truth is that this budget was written by the rich, for the rich, to help the rich get richer. And that is what this is, a massive transfer of wealth from those at the bottom to those at the top. It is Robin Hood in reverse, and the American people will pay the price for the Republicans' billionaire-first budget. With that, I reserve my time.
Gentleman's time is reserved.